The neon signs outside the downtown gallery painted Myra's face in shifting blues and pinks as she pushed through the glass doors. Her oversized vintage band tee hung off one shoulder, paired with ripped black jeans and beat-up Converse that had seen better days. A canvas messenger bag stuffed with her camera gear bounced against her hip. She was here to photograph the art installation for her photography professor. Get the shots, get the credit, get out. Then someone knocked into her from behind. Watch it, she snapped, stumbling forward. My bad. The voice was deep, almost amused. Mira turned. The guy wore a crisp white button-down with the sleeves rolled to his elbows, tailored black pants, and leather shoes that probably cost more than her entire wardrobe. Dark hair perfectly messy in that intentional way rich people managed. Sharp cheekbones. Gray eyes that locked onto hers like he was reading her. You good? He asked. Fine. She adjusted her camera strap. Didn't realize this place was packed tonight. It's not. Private viewing. He tilted his head. You're not supposed to be here. I'm photographing for Professor Chin. Got the clearance email and everything. His expression shifted. Something like curiosity. You're the photographer. Yeah. Problem? No problem. A slow smile. I'm Kai Gwyn. My family's funding this exhibit. Great. She'd just snapped at a rich donor. Mira Santos. Sorry for the attitude. Don't apologize. He stepped closer. The gallery's white walls and polished concrete floors made everything feel cold, but his presence somehow warmed the space. I like people who don't fake it. She raised an eyebrow. That's a weird thing to like. You'd be surprised how rare it is. His eyes hadn't left hers. Want me to show you the best angles for your shots? I can figure it out myself. I know you can. But I'm offering anyway. There was something magnetic about him. Something that made her skin buzz. Fine. Lead the way. They moved through installations of twisted metal and broken mirrors, neon tubes spelling out words in languages she didn't recognize. Kai talked about each piece with genuine knowledge, not the fake intellectual flex she expected from someone in a $1,000 outfit. You actually care about this stuff, Mira said, crouching to photograph a sculpture made of shattered glass. My mom was an artist before she died. His voice went quiet. Brain cancer. 3 years ago. Mira lowered her camera. I'm sorry. Don't be. She hated pity. He looked at a painting of fragmented faces. This whole exhibit is hers. She never got to finish it. I did. The vulnerability in his voice cracked something in her chest. That's why you're here alone, she said softly. Opening night. And it's just you. My dad couldn't handle seeing her work. My sister lives in Tokyo and won't come back. He turned to her. So yeah, just me. Silence stretched between them, heavy with understanding. My parents are dead too, Mira heard herself say. Car accident when I was 7. Been bouncing around ever since. Foster care, group homes, the whole tragic backstory package. Kai's expression softened. We're a pair, aren't we? Guess so. Stay, he said suddenly. After you finish shooting. Have a drink with me. This place feels less like a funeral when you're here. She should say no. Every part of her screamed red flag. Okay. 2 hours later, they sat on the gallery floor surrounded by empty wine bottles lifted from the installation's catering stash. Myra's camera lay forgotten beside her. The city glowed through floor-to-ceiling windows. Tell me something nobody knows, Kai said, leaning back against a concrete pillar. I don't trust people. Mira pulled her knees to her chest. Ever. Because everyone leaves. What if someone stayed? Nobody stays. He reached over, fingers brushing her wrist. What if I wanted to try? Before she could respond, her phone exploded with notifications. All from the same number. Professor Chin. She opened the messages. Her stomach dropped. What's wrong? Kai sat up. My professor. Her voice shook. He's saying I broke into the gallery. That I never had permission. He's filing a complaint with the school. That's insane. I'll call him right now and… He's saying you're lying to protect me. Her hands trembled. There's security footage being reviewed. If they press charges, I lose my scholarship. I lose everything. Kai's jaw tightened. This doesn't make sense. Myra's phone buzzed again. A text from an unknown number. Stop digging into your parents' accident. This is your only warning. Her blood went cold. Kai. She showed him the screen. What the hell is this? He stared at the message, his face unreadable. Tell me you don't know anything about this, Mira whispered. The silence was too long. Kai. Tell me. Kai stood abruptly, pacing the gallery floor. The neon from outside cast shadows across his face, making him look like a stranger. I need you to listen, he said. No. Mira grabbed her camera, shoving it into her bag. You know something. About my parents. About tonight. And you didn't say anything. It's complicated. Uncomplicated. Now. He ran both hands through his hair, the perfect composure cracking. His white shirt was wrinkled now, sleeves pushed past his elbows showing a thin scar on his left forearm she hadn't noticed before. Your parents didn't die in an accident, he said quietly. The floor seemed to tilt beneath her feet. What? The car crash. It wasn't random. His gray eyes were stormy, conflicted. My father's company was being investigated for environmental violations. Illegal dumping. Your dad was the lead inspector. He found evidence that would have destroyed everything we had. Mira's chest constricted. You're lying. I wish I was. Kai's voice cracked. 2 days before he was supposed to testify, the crash happened. My father made it look like brake failure. I didn't know until last year when I found files in his office. And you didn't tell anyone? Her voice rose. My parents are dead because of your family and you just kept quiet? I was 15 when it happened. I didn't know anything back then. He stepped toward her. When I found out, I started gathering evidence to expose him. That's why I'm here tonight. Not for my mom's exhibit. To meet you. You set this up. Horror washed over her. The photography job. Professor Chin. All of it. No. The professor was real. But someone found out I was investigating. They're trying to scare you off before you learn the truth. How convenient that you're here to save me. Mira's hands shook with rage. What is this, guilt? You think playing hero erases what your family did? I think I owe you the truth. His jaw clenched. And I think I'm the only person who can keep you safe right now. Safe? She laughed bitterly. From your own father? He doesn't know I know. Nobody does. Except now you. Kai pulled out his phone, showing her a folder of scanned documents. I've been building a case for months. Financial records. Emails. Proof of the cover-up. I was going to take it to the FBI next week. Mira's mind raced. Every instinct told her to run. Why should I believe anything you say? Because if I wanted to hurt you, I wouldn't have told you any of this. His voice dropped. I could have let you keep thinking it was an accident. Could have walked away. But I didn't. Her phone buzzed. Another message. Last chance. Drop it or lose more than your scholarship. They're watching us, Kai said, glancing at the windows. We need to leave. Now. I'm not going anywhere with you. Mira, please. Desperation bled into his tone. My father has people everywhere. If you go home tonight, they'll be waiting. Maybe I'll go straight to the police myself. With what evidence? I have the files. You have nothing but my word. He stepped closer, close enough she could see the fear in his eyes. I know you don't trust me. I wouldn't either. But right now, I'm all you've got. The truth of it burned. She was alone. No family. No backup. And the only person offering help was connected to the people who destroyed her life. One night, she said through gritted teeth, "You get one night to prove you're not lying. Then I'm gone." Relief flooded his face. Thank you. Don't. Just don't. They left through the back exit. Kai led her to a sleek black motorcycle parked in the alley, handing her a helmet. Seriously? Mira stared at it. Would you prefer we take my car and make it easy for them to track us? She climbed on behind him, arms wrapping reluctantly around his waist. His body was warm and solid against hers. The engine roared to life. They tore through the city streets, weaving between cars and running yellow lights. The wind whipped Mira's hair back. Her heart hammered against her ribs. Kai pulled up to a building on the industrial edge of town. Converted warehouse lofts. He parked in an underground garage and led her to a freight elevator. This is your place, she asked as they ascended. One of them. My father doesn't know about it. The loft was massive. Exposed brick walls. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the river. Minimal furniture. A wall covered in photographs and documents connected by red string like something from a crime show. "Welcome to my obsession," Kai said, shrugging off his shoes. Mira walked to the wall, studying the photos. Her parents' faces stared back at her. Younger than she remembered. Smiling. "You've been investigating this for a year," she breathed. 13 months. "Why?" She turned to him. "Why do you care?" He met her gaze. "Because I can't sleep knowing my family destroyed yours. Because every dollar I've ever spent came from blood money. Because I'm tired of being my father's son." The rawness in his voice undid something in her. "I don't know if I can forgive this," she whispered. "I'm not asking you to." He moved beside her, staring at the wall. "I'm asking you to let me make it right." They stood in silence, the weight of everything pressing down. "There's more, isn't there?" Mira said softly. "You're not telling me everything." Kai's jaw worked. "My sister. Lynn. She's not in Tokyo because she wants to be." "What do you mean?" "She found out about the cover-up before I did. Tried to go to the police." His voice turned hollow. "My father had her committed to a psychiatric facility. Said she was having a breakdown. She's been there for 2 years." Myra's blood ran cold. He locked up his own daughter. "He'll do worse to you if he finds out you know." Kai turned to her, eyes burning. "That's why we can't stop now. We finish this. Together. Or we both disappear." Before she could respond, the lights went out. Complete darkness swallowed the loft. "Kai, don't move." Glass shattered somewhere behind them. Someone else was in the room. Myra's heart slammed against her ribs. She couldn't see anything. Just darkness and the sound of footsteps on hardwood. "Kai," she whispered. His hand found hers in the black, pulling her down behind the couch. His breath was hot against her ear. "Stay quiet." A flashlight beam cut through the room, sweeping across the walls. It landed on the investigation board. Photos of her parents. Documents. Evidence. "I know you're here, Kai." The voice was older. Refined. Cold. "Bring the girl out and we can talk about this like adults." Kai's grip on her hand tightened. "Who is that?" Mira breathed. "My father." Terror spiked through her. The footsteps moved closer. Deliberate. Unhurried. "You've made quite the mess," the man continued. "I raised you better than this. Family doesn't turn on family." Kai stood suddenly, pulling Mira up with him. In the flashlight's glow, she finally saw his father. Expensive charcoal suit. Silver hair. A face that would look kind if not for the ice in his eyes. "Let her go," Kai said. "This is between us." "Is it?" His father's gaze shifted to Mira. She wore her vintage band tee and ripped jeans like armor now, camera bag still slung across her body. "Miss Santos. I've heard about you. Scholarship student. No family. No connections. Nobody who'd notice if you disappeared. Touch her and I'll send everything to the FBI tonight," Kai threatened. His father laughed. A sound like breaking glass. "You think I don't have backups? Copies of copies." He gestured at the investigation board. "This is amateur hour, son. I've been covering tracks since before you were born." "Then why are you here?" Kai challenged. "Because you're still my blood. And I'm giving you one chance to walk away from this girl and her dead parents and come home where you belong." "No." The word hung in the air like a gunshot. His father's expression hardened. "Then you've made your choice." He pulled something from his jacket. Not a gun. A phone. He pressed a button. "What did you do?" Kai demanded. "Insurance." His father smiled. "I've just sent evidence to the university that Miss Santos here hacked into the gallery's security system and stole valuable artwork. The police are on their way to her apartment right now. You're framing her." Kai's voice shook with rage. "I'm protecting our family. Like I always have." He looked at Mira. "You can run. Spend your life hiding. Or you can disappear quietly. I'll make it painless. Your choice." Mira found her voice. "You killed my parents. I made a business decision. They were collateral damage." Something inside her snapped. She lunged forward, but Kai caught her around the waist. "Don't," he hissed. "That's what he wants." His father watched them with clinical interest. Touching. Young love built on lies and corpses. This will end badly for both of you. Not if I testify, Mira said. I'll tell them everything. About my parents. About your daughter. All of it. With what proof? He gestured at the board. Stolen documents? Illegally obtained evidence? You have nothing that would hold up in court. I've made sure of that. Kai stepped forward. What about a confession? His father frowned. What? You just admitted to killing her parents. Kai's lips curved into a bitter smile. And Mira's been recording this entire conversation. Mira's hand went to her camera bag where her phone sat, voice memo app running. She'd started it the moment the lights went out. Muscle memory from her days documenting everything in foster care. His father's face darkened. You're bluffing. Am I? Kai challenged. For the first time, uncertainty flickered across the older man's features. Give me the phone, he said quietly. No. Give me the phone or I'll make sure your sister never leaves that facility. She'll die in there, drugged and forgotten. Kai's entire body went rigid. Mira saw it then. The choice forming in his eyes. His sister or her. Justice or family. Kai, don't, she whispered. I'm sorry, he said, voice breaking. He reached for her bag. Everything happened fast. Mira twisted away, backing toward the windows. Kai advanced. His father watched like a spectator at a game. Please, Kai said. I can't lose her too. She's all I have left. Then you never wanted justice. Mira's throat burned. You just wanted to ease your guilt. That's not fair. None of this is fair. Tears streamed down her face. My parents are dead. Your sister is locked up. And you're choosing a murderer over doing the right thing. He's still my father. And she's still your sister. What do you think happens to her when he realizes you betrayed him by telling me any of this? Kai froze. The realization hit him like a freight train. She's already dead, Mira continued. The moment you chose me over keeping his secrets. He'll never let her go now. His father's expression confirmed it. Cold. Final. Smart girl, the older man said. Now give me that phone and maybe I'll make both your deaths quick. Kai turned to his father, something shifting in his face. Steel replacing fear. You'd really kill us both. Without hesitation. Even your own son. You stopped being my son when you chose her. The words hung in the air. Kai moved suddenly. Not toward Mira. Toward his father. He grabbed the man's arm, twisting it behind his back with shocking efficiency. Run, he shouted at Mira. But his father was stronger. Faster. They crashed into the investigation board, photos scattering across the floor. Mira saw the glint of metal. A knife. Kai. The blade flashed. Kai gasped. Red bloomed across his white shirt. He stumbled backward, hand pressed to his side. His father stood there, knife dripping, breathing hard. You chose this, the older man said. Mira didn't think. She grabbed her camera, heavy and solid, and swung it at his head. The impact sent him staggering. She grabbed Kai, pulling him toward the door. They ran. Blood soaked through Kai's shirt as they crashed down the stairwell. He kept one hand pressed to his side, the other gripping the railing. Mira's arm was around his waist, half carrying him. We need a hospital, she panted. Can't. He owns half the hospitals in this city. Kai's face was pale, sweat beading on his forehead. There's a clinic. Chinatown. Ask for Dr. Pham. Say the Orchid sent you. The Orchid? Code. From my mom. He'll help. They burst into the garage. Kai's motorcycle sat waiting. Mira helped him onto the back this time, then climbed in front. She'd never driven a motorcycle before. Clutch. Gear. Throttle, Kai wheezed, walking her through it. Don't kill us. No promises. The engine roared. They peeled out into the night. Mira drove like her life depended on it, because it did. The city blurred past. Red lights meant nothing. Every turn felt like they might crash. Kai's arms were wrapped around her middle, his blood seeping through her vintage tee, warm and sticky against her skin. Stay awake, she shouted over the wind. Trying. They found the clinic wedged between a dumpling shop and a karaoke bar. Mira half-dragged Kai inside. An old woman at the desk looked up. The Orchid sent us, Mira gasped. The woman's eyes widened. She disappeared through a beaded curtain. Minutes later, a man in his 60s appeared. Dr. Pham. He took one look at Kai and gestured to a back room. Knife wound, the doctor said, laying Kai on a table. How long ago? 20 minutes. He'll live. You out. Let me work. Mira sat in the waiting room, hands shaking. Kai's blood was under her fingernails. On her clothes. She still had the phone. The recording. Proof of everything. But at what cost? An hour passed. 2. Finally, Dr. Pham emerged. He's stable. Stitched up. He needs rest. Can I see him? The doctor nodded. Kai lay on the table, shirtless now, white bandages wrapped around his torso. His eyes opened when she walked in. Hey, he said weakly. Hey yourself. Mira pulled up a chair. You're an idiot. Yeah, you could have died. But I didn't. Silence stretched between them. The clinic's fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Why did you do it? Mira asked softly. You were going to give me up. Then you changed your mind. Because you were right. Kai's gray eyes found hers. My sister was already gone the moment I started investigating. And if I gave him that recording, he'd kill you anyway. There was no world where we both survived if I chose him. So you chose me. I chose doing the right thing. Finally. He reached for her hand. I'm sorry. For everything. For what my family did to yours. For almost betraying you. For all of it. Mira squeezed his fingers. Your father's still out there. I know. He's going to come after us. Probably. We need to end this. She pulled out her phone, the recording still saved. Tonight. Now. Before he destroys the evidence or disappears. Kai tried to sit up, wincing. You're not going without me. You can barely move. Don't care. We do this together or not at all. Dr. Pham appeared in the doorway. Whatever you're planning, you have maybe 3 hours before his people find this place. I've called in favors, but they'll run out. Mira looked at Kai. At the determination in his eyes despite the pain. Fine. Together. She helped him sit up. But we're doing this my way. 20 minutes later, they were at Mira's tiny studio apartment across town. She grabbed her laptop, pulling up social media. What are you doing? Kai asked, leaning against her desk. He'd borrowed a black hoodie from the clinic that hung loose on his injured frame. Something your father can't control. Mira's fingers flew across the keyboard. Public opinion. She uploaded the recording to every platform she had. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. She tagged news outlets. True crime podcasts. Anyone who'd listen. The caption was simple. This man murdered my parents and is trying to kill me. His name is Vincent Nguyen. Don't let him bury this. He'll sue, I said. With what? The recording proves everything. Mira hit post. Let him try. Within minutes, views started climbing. Comments flooded in. Shares multiplied. Then her phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. Put it on speaker. You've made a terrible mistake. Vincent Nguyen's voice was ice. Funny. I was thinking the same about you. For the past 20 years. That recording won't hold up in court. You know that. Maybe not. But it's already been downloaded 10,000 times. Shared across the internet. Even if you scrub it, it's out there forever. Mira smiled coldly. You can't kill the internet, Vincent. Silence on the other end. What do you want? He finally asked. Justice. Your sister released from the facility. You turn yourself in. Confess to everything. Delusional. Maybe. But in the last 5 minutes, 3 news vans have shown up outside your corporate office. Your stock is tanking. And the FBI just issued a statement that they're opening an investigation. So you tell me who's delusional? Kai watched her with something like awe. Vincent's voice turned sharp. I will destroy you both. Even if it takes me 20 years. You'll never be safe. Probably not. But neither will you. Mira leaned into the phone. See you in court. She hung up. Kai started laughing. Painful, breathless, real laughter. That was insane, he said. Yeah, you just declared war on one of the most powerful men in the city using TikTok. Basically. I think I'm in love with you. The words stopped her cold. Mira turned to him. His face was pale from blood loss, eyes shadowed with exhaustion. But he meant it. She could see it written in every line of his body. "That's the adrenaline talking," she said quietly. "No, it's not." Kai stepped closer despite the pain it caused. "I know the timing is horrible. I know we're probably going to die or end up in witness protection. But I need you to know, you're the first real thing I've had in my entire life." Her heart hammered. "Kai, you don't have to say it back. I just needed you to know." She kissed him then. Hard and desperate. Tasting blood and fear and something fragile like hope. His hands cupped her face, fingers tangling in her dark hair. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, her phone was exploding with notifications. The story was going viral. But so was something else. A news alert. Vincent Nguyen's daughter found dead in psychiatric facility. Apparent suicide. Kai's face crumbled. No. No, no, no. He grabbed the phone, reading the article. She was fine. She was fine last week when I visited. She wouldn't do this. Mira's blood turned to ice. He killed her. To punish you. The sound that came out of Kai was inhuman. Grief and rage twisting into something broken. He collapsed his knees, stitches pulling. Mira caught him. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I'm so sorry." He took her. Kai's voice shattered. He took the only family I had left. They sat on the floor of her tiny apartment, holding each other while the internet caught fire around them. Outside, sirens wailed. Justice was coming. But the cost kept climbing. 3 months later, Mira stood outside the courthouse, winter sun cutting harsh shadows across the concrete steps. She wore borrowed professional clothes that didn't quite fit. Black slacks, white button-up, a blazer with sleeves too long. Her camera hung around her neck out of habit. Kai sat on a bench nearby, still recovering. The knife wound had healed but left a scar. He wore a dark suit, hair shorter now. Government-mandated witness protection would start tomorrow. New names. New city. New everything. Vincent Nguyen had been arrested 2 weeks after the recording went viral. The FBI built a case using Mira's evidence and documents Kai provided. Corporate fraud. Murder. Obstruction of justice. The list went on. Lynn's death was ruled a homicide. Security footage showed orderlies entering her room on Vincent's orders. He'd killed his own daughter to hurt his son. The trial lasted 8 weeks. Today was sentencing. "You ready?" Kai asked, standing beside her. "No, me neither." They walked inside together. The courtroom was packed. Media. Activists. Families of other victims Vincent had destroyed over the years. Mira's parents weren't the only ones. The judge entered. Everyone stood. "Vincent Nguyen," the judge began, looking at the man in the defendant's chair. He looked smaller now. Older. But his eyes still held that cold calculation. "You have been found guilty on all counts. For the murders of David and Maria Santos, for the murder of your daughter Lynn Nguyen, for corporate fraud, for witness tampering and obstruction of justice. This court sentences you to life in prison without possibility of parole." The courtroom erupted. Relief. Anger. Grief. All of it tangled together. Vincent's eyes found Kai's across the room. No remorse. No regret. Just empty. Kai stared back. Mira took his hand, squeezing tight. Outside, reporters swarmed. Mira and Kai pushed through without comment. They'd said everything they needed to say already. The internet had done the rest. They found a quiet park a few blocks away. Sat on a bench overlooking the river. The same river visible from Kai's old loft, now seized as evidence. "What happens now?" Mira asked. "We disappear. New names. The FBI sets us up somewhere across the country." Kai traced patterns on her palm. "You don't have to come with me. You could stay. Finish school. Have a normal life." Normal's overrated. "Mira." She turned to him. "You think I survived foster care and dead parents and a murder confession just to go back to normal? We're in this together." "That's what you said." "Together," he echoed. "Besides, witness protection means free housing. Can't beat that." He laughed. Real and warm. The sound still surprised her every time. "What about your photography?" he asked. "Cameras work everywhere." She lifted hers, snapping a photo of him. Sunlight catching his profile. Scars visible and honest. I'll document our new life. Maybe start that project about found families I always wanted to do. Found families. Yeah, people who choose each other instead of being stuck with blood. She lowered the camera. Like us. Kai pulled her close. His hoodie smelled like laundry detergent and something woodsy. Different from the expensive cologne he used to wear. Better. I love you, he said into her hair. I know it's complicated and messy and built on tragedy. But I love you. I love you too. The words came easier this time. Even though you're dramatic and got stabbed and made me drive a motorcycle without a license. You're never going to let that go, are you? Never. They sat in silence as the sun dipped lower. The city moved around them. People living their lives, unaware of the battle that had just ended. Myra's phone buzzed. A text from Dr. Pham. New clinic location when you're settled. The orchid blooms where it's planted. She smiled. Some connections survived even witness protection. What are we going to call ourselves? Kai asked. In the new life? I don't know. Something normal. Maya and Kyle. Emma and Ethan. Does it matter? I guess not. He kissed her temple. As long as we're together. Together, Mira agreed. A black SUV pulled up to the curb. Federal agents. Their ride to the new life. Mira stood, shouldering her camera bag. Everything she owned fit inside it now. Photos. Memories. Evidence of who she used to be. Kai stood beside her, carrying even less. Just a backpack with clothes and a single photo of his mother and sister. You ready? The agent asked. They looked at each other. Two people built from broken pieces. Survivors of different wars who found each other in the wreckage. Yeah, Mira said. We're ready. They climbed into the SUV. As it pulled away from the courthouse, from the city, from everything they'd known, Mira rolled down the window. Let the wind tangle her hair. Behind them, Vincent Gwynn would rot in prison. Lynn would never come home. Myra's parents would stay dead. Some things couldn't be fixed. But some things could be built new. Kai's hand found hers in the back seat. Their fingers laced together. The city disappeared in the rearview mirror. And they drove toward whatever came next. Together. The end.